friend Connie Baker, who's director at the Allegheny Highlands Arts and Crafts Center, and she's going to help me talk about some of my work. I like to work with all sorts of different materials and media, and so I have here today several different examples. This is an acrylic on canvas. It was actually done with a credit card rather than a brush, so it's a little more impasto. And it's just, I like doing landscapes because I think we live in such a beautiful place that it's hard not to do landscapes. So there is that aspect of my work. And then, Connie, if you have a question?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, what is this called, or where is it?
It was done from a group of photographs.
Oh, okay.
I like this tree and that sky and this piece of ground.
Oh, okay.
So I usually combine them together. Sometimes I do things plein air, and it's just an open meadow.
Okay.
So
You just use art
in
as
the
well.
polish, yes, as much as possible.
Yes. Okay.
And these three and the two here, the little ones, and you're welcome to pick them up, are monotypes. And they're done with what I call a jelly print. It's a plate of a gel-like material, and you put paint on it, and just like any other print, then you place paper over the top, and when you pull it up, you have an image. And I've done a couple of classes with jelly prints, and I like them because they're quick, and they're fun, and there's something that can be very spontaneous. Mm-hmm. And so I like the fact that in this case, I use the positive shape of the houses, and in the one you're holding, I use the positive shape of the houses, and then I use the houses as a block out, so I use both the positive and negative. And if you're working with a class, that's a nice way to teach people about positive and negative shapes.
Okay.
And I like the size because lots of times I will do things with postage stamps. Okay. Our friend Denny has gotten me into paying attention to postage stamps. And so this one is a postage stamp of Mary Cassatt, and I have two shadow figures, and she's sort of framed in there. And it's an homage to Mary Cassatt.
So what was the process of this? The same as the other?
Pretty much the same process as the other. I did the print, and then I added the little postage stamp afterwards, and I came back in, and you can always do some embellishment on mono prints, which is really nice. Because if you want to tweak something or you need to add something, you can.
Okay.
And there's some really great stamps out there, and so when they came in with these stamps of these brightly colored popsicle sticks, I remember the fact that we always refer to trees that are drawn like lollipops, just one stick and a big round circle for the trees. And I thought, oh look, they're popsicle trees.
Right.
So I went out and bought some stamps, classifying it in my mind as an art material expedition, and made a popsicle tree.
Okay. That looks fun. I mean, a lot of colors behind the popsicles.
Yes, and I love that about the stamps, and that's what I love about monoprints is it like this, is they're really fast and fun. And then I also work very abstractly. Sometimes I don't have anything particular in mind. And so this piece is also a monoprint, just done with the colors and the shapes and circles that I was working with that day that were kind of fun. And because I like circles, I also work with circles in a bigger format. This is called circles and squares, or spirals and squares, and it's also an acrylic, but I've used a gel medium over the top to give it some texture.
Oh, okay.
And then gone back in with color.
So it's two processes in this one right here.
Yes.
Okay.
I usually do more than one thing at a time, and I may be working in my studio on something like this and something like this, and have those over on the side. That way, as one is drying, I can work on the others. Or I find that as I'm working, ideas come into my head faster when I'm working, and so they usually just send me shooting off in all directions, kind of like an exploding star. I go off and do my little octopus thing.
So, how many pieces do you think you're working on at one time?
Usually at like 2 or 3.
Okay.
Sometimes more than that, because I either have others sitting around my house looking at to figure out what went wrong or what went right and how to fix it or where it goes next.
Okay, so while you're working on, say, that piece behind you, you might have a popcorn thought and it'll go to another.
It'll go to another piece, or I'll take a break and go downstairs, and while I'm sitting in front of the boob tube, there'll be something there that I'm watching. And it may spark something, but I always have something propped up in front of me to look at that I'm trying to solve a problem on.
Okay, okay. Well, interesting.